Hey everybody, Grayson here from PokeProfit. We're going to do a general market update today, but I want to start off by talking about a set that no one's really paying attention to on YouTube. It's a little bit of an older set from the Sun and Moon era, Shining Legends. I know some of you guys don't like when I bring up even Sword and Shield era, definitely Sun and Moon. A lot of people kind of roll their eyes, but at the same time, the top cards in the set are starting to run, especially in PSA 10s, and that's definitely affecting the ETB price. So the last time I did a Shining Legends update in the spreadsheet, average sale price was a little bit over $903 US. You can see here on TCG Player, $860. That was a little bit below eBay. However, over the past 28 days, I just did the update today, it was, I believe, over $1,100 for Shining Legends ETBs. I think you can maybe find listings still in the 1050 range, but it's moved up 20-30% over the past month. And again, a lot of that has to do with the Mewtwo GX, the Mewtwo, some people call it, the Shining Mew, and the Shining Rayquaza. And just going into these cards a little bit more in depth here, the Rayquaza up around 35% over the past 90 days. Doesn't sell super often, maybe about once per day in a near mint copy. The Shining Mew, same deal, about once per day, but you can see here up over 56% in the same time period. And of course, the Mewtwo GX, it's only up, according to the graph, 22-23%, but recent sales, near mint copies ungraded, you have some pushing almost $1,000 US. And then again, the PSA 10 copy of this card pushing $8,000. It was in the 5,000 range for a fairly long period of time, basically doubled overnight, right? So these top three cards putting pressure on the remaining supply of sealed product. And I'll also say too, just in general, the Sun and Moon era, there was a little bit more demand there this month, whether it was in Lost Thunder or Crimson Invasion, even Unified Minds, Cosmic Eclipse, a few more boxes moving for most sets, which I think is a good sign. Also, I just want to say one thing too, keep yellow border cards in the back of your mind, because I'm going to say something once we get to Crown Zenith that might be a little bit controversial. It'll be interesting to see what you guys say in the comments in response to what I say, but we'll get there in a few minutes. Before we get to that though, I did want to touch on Ascended Heroes briefly and a couple other sets. So Ascended right now, I think most people agree it's probably not the best place to put your money in terms of opportunity cost, right? The set has only been out a couple months. ETB is already pushing $185 on TCG Player. eBay, it's basically the same deal. And when we think about what happened to Prismatic Evolutions, right? I'm bringing up the SPC here. We're also going to talk about the PCTB here in a minute. But when we think about the regular ETBs, a lot of those restocks came the first year, so 2025, Sam's Club, Costco, and they were everywhere. People didn't really want them. And even back then, I had people telling me in the comments, hey, like, this might not be the best time to pick up Prismatic. It's still too early. We got a long time to go. There's going to be tons and tons of reprints. However, right, last year, that was probably the cheapest you could have purchased Prismatic. I highly doubt ETBs are ever going to be $80 to $90 again. So keep that in mind when we look at a set like Ascended Heroes, because there more than likely will come a time this year when this gets reprinted or restocked, whether it's at Costco or Sam's Club or maybe through distribution, and people aren't going to be in love with the product as much as they are right now. So I wanted to illustrate this by just showing you guys demand for Ascended Heroes so far. We've only just begun tracking the sales volume on eBay, and actually we started tracking it early. Normally I wait 3 months after the release of a product, so we probably should have started May 20th, right? But we started in April, and you can see here the first update, weekly sales over 1,000 units, right? Like there was over 140 ETBs selling per day. Buy it now, eBay North America. The most recent update that we did 11 days ago, almost 900 units, so a little bit less. Ideally, when I do the update on Friday, I'm hoping it's still going to be over 100 units per day selling eBay buy it now sales. And this is why I've said for a very long period of time, TCG Player does not tell the full story. You can see here over the past week or two, let's call it an average of like 30 to 35 ETBs selling per day. So when we're looking at eBay data, it's 3, 4, maybe even 5x that depending on the week. The other set I wanted to talk about too, 151, I just wanted to point out briefly, the booster bundles are back down to around $200. And I believe we've actually seen a few sales, yeah, as low as like 173. Now, is that a sealed product? Maybe not, but I would assume it probably is. Maybe it's someone just trying to move a few booster bundles to get out of their position or whatever. Either way, these aren't selling for $240, $250 anymore, which to me, this kind of buyout right here from April 28th up to May 3rd, May 4th, it didn't really seem supernatural. And that's not something that we saw on eBay as well with the bundles. I know that on TCG Player, you guys can't, or excuse me, on TCG Quant, you can't see the booster bundle data yet, but we are actively tracking it, and that definitely wasn't mirrored on eBay. So the 151 bounce, it makes sense why it's back down to around $200. I will say though, in regards to 151, maybe if we bring up another product like the ETB, for example, and just come look at the long-term analysis, it's still a really strong set and something that I do think you should have exposure to long term. And really, when you look at a set like 151, the only thing, according to TCG Quant, that's limiting it right now is going to be that chase card value, which realistically, if we come in here and look at a set like 151, it's still pretty solid, right? It's not going to be the highest chase card value we see in a set ever, but having that Charizard at $450, the Blastoise, the Venusaur up there, Charmander over $100, right? Squirtle pushing 110 now, even Zapdos holding around the 3 digits. Like, you have a pretty legit set, and that's not even including the pull rates on some of these cards, which were a little bit easier than some other sets from the SV era. So overall, I think 151 still a really strong long-term hold, but in the short term, it might not be the best place to put your money. The final kind of modern set I want to bring up, or ultra modern, I guess, let's say, Prismatic Evolutions. So we do track a lot of these products like the SPC, the regular ETB, and the PCTB. I know some people right now are looking at the SPC and saying it's not the best value. And I think when we look at the buy window, it's not looking like the most attractive purchase at this point, but I do think the signal for the SPCs is going to change quite quickly. And the reason for that, after talking with a few people that have distro access and understanding how many SPCs they're actually getting from distro, I don't think these are going to last super long. And I wouldn't be shocked if these move back up fairly quickly into the $300 plus range. And I think on TCG Player already, 1 month chart, yeah, we're back to like 294, right? So they were down to 280-ish there for a minute. That's when I picked a few more up in Canada. I would have to check Shopify. Maybe there still are a few deals, but I've already noticed a couple stores in Canada moving their price up from like 350 Canadian to 375, even 400 plus. So keep an eye on the SPCs. If you want to get more exposure to Prismatic right now, I think SPCs are fine. I think regular ETBs are fine. I also think the Pokemon Center ETBs could be a decent shout. And one of the reasons for this, on TCG Quant, if we come look at ETBs and we sort by release date, come down here to the Prismatic PCTB, it has entered a buy setup again, 7 out of 10. That is a little bit on the lower end for a buy setup. Preferably, we want to see an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10 like Surging Sparks. But over the past couple months, this ETB's moved from around $590. I know there were sales over $6, back down to around $520. Now, you guys know I'm not really a huge fan of PCTBs, and especially not at a 8 to 9, 10x multiple of MSRP. However, I'm definitely a huge fan of Prismatic. The top 10 value, almost $4,000 right now. Total set value over 5,600. Insane value density there. Fairly low gem rates on a lot of these cards. I know some people are actually making plays into a lot of PSA 10s of the Evolutions. When you look at the long-term thesis, 10 out of 10 right now makes a ton of sense in my eyes. But if you do believe in the PCTBs, how much cheaper do you think they're going to get kind of in this pullback period? That's over a 10% drop. We're still at an all-time high, I would say, in terms of demand for Pokemon. I mean, even if you watched Alex's video today talking about Chaos Rising being one of the best selling sets at release for him through his rip and ship. If a set like that is doing that type of numbers, it's an interesting thing to think about where Prismatic will be in a couple of years. So PCTB is definitely a good shout right now, especially if you can find a deal. For example, right here, a sale at $436 on TCG Player less than a week ago, right? So if you can find a play like that at 80% of market value, I think that's a pretty respectable entry point. And before we go any further, if you guys enjoy this type of content, I'd really appreciate if you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It does help out a ton getting these videos pushed out to more people. Useful links in the description if you want to work with me this year. And if you want to check out TCG Quant, it will be the top link. There's a paid version, but also a free version for you guys to check out. So that'll be top of description as always. Now, before we get to Crown Zenith, and I'm going to give a take on yellow border cards there, I did just want to briefly touch on Blackbolt and White Flare. The reason for this, these ETBs are very close in price now. White Flare around $135. Blackbolt actually coming back down just a little bit off of 140, now sitting around 137, 138. The really interesting thing with these two ETBs, if we do a little bit of a comparison here, you can see right now, White Flare is actually going to be a little bit better of an entry window. It doesn't really mean too much. There was a little bit less supply on the market last update. They were selling slightly better than Blackbolt. When you look at the long-term score, both 7 out of 10. And if we come in here and look at the detailed analysis of both of these, top 10 value of White Flare, $1,500 right now, total set value $3,300. If you look at Blackbolt, top 10 value, 17, almost 1,800, and then $3,600 total set value. So I do think Blackbolt is just a little bit better. And even though the entry window right now might favor White Flare, maybe over the next month or two, that means that White Flare is going to do a little bit better. When we look long term, I would still rather choose Blackbolt just because these ETBs are essentially the same price right now. However, if you're in a country or position where Blackbolt is selling for 20, 30, maybe 40% more than White Flare, I've seen that some stores, just looking at their ETBs, very large price discrepancy. At that point, it might make sense to go with White Flare. Even a week ago, there was a Shopify store. They had a couple ETBs up for, I think, about 90 USD converted all in on Shopify Canada. So if you're getting a deal like that, they're going for $130, $135. Kind of seems like a no-brainer entry. The final thing I wanted to bring up in this video for sealed product before we get to a couple cards, Crown Zenith. I think Crown Zenith long-term, still a great buy, potentially even in the short term. It could be a decent buy. And the reason for that, if we scroll down a little bit to the Sword and Shield era, it has entered a buy setup, 8 out of 10 right now, fairly high confidence interval. You can't really get much higher than that. And when we look at Crown Zenith, I mean, top 10 value, over 1,000 now, which is kind of crazy with how much the gold cards have grown. The Mewtwo V-Star as well, being around $300 now. Total set value, 2,600-ish. That's pretty solid. And if we scroll down just a little bit further and we look at the long-term thesis, it's still an 8 out of 10. You have legit chase cards. You have sealed product that is appreciating. IP desirability, like so many desirable Pokemon in this set. Mewtwo, the Mew, Deoxys, Leafeon, Giratina, Arceus, Dialga, Palkia, like they're all there, right? Pikachu as well, which speaking of Pikachu, speaking of Mew, looking at some of these yellow border cards, the Mew being in the top 10 the set now, around $80-ish. I think that some of these yellow border cards could still be potentially undervalued. I know that seems ridiculous to say, but at the same time, if you think about this card, right, and you put this into Prismatic or Destined Rivals, would this really only be $75? And we have to remember too, even though the pops for some of these cards are already quite high, they're fairly difficult to pull in Crown Zenith just because there's so many of them. And I mean, to illustrate this, if we go look at the top 100 cards in Crown Zenith, obviously the Pikachus being $50 now. Yeah, when those were $5, it makes sense why they're a lot more expensive. Maybe you could argue that even at that point, they're still a little bit undervalued. I really like the Ditto cards in this set, under $20. The Latias, sub $20. I believe there's an Absol in here that I wanted to highlight too somewhere. I think we're fairly close to it. This Absol here, $8, right? Like if you put a silver border on this and you threw it into, I don't know, Destined Rivals or Mega Evolution, Phantasmal, would that not be a $20 illustration rare? Probably, right? So I don't know. It's something to throw out there. I'm curious to hear what you guys say. Again, I'm not advocating that anyone go out and buy these yellow border cards. I'm not doing it. But when you look at some illustration rares in the SV era, the Mega Block now, to me, some of them seem expensive compared to these. So something I would share in this video. Overall, I do think there are some decent buying opportunities. And even when there isn't for something like Ascended Heroes, I need you guys to remember when the reprint comes, doesn't matter what anybody thinks about the set at that point. Just know demand was there for Ascended out the gate, a lot higher than Prismatic, and it's probably going to be a good time to double down on your position. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you're having a great week. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.